All right, folks, it's Thursday, August 16th. It's about a quarter after 11 a.m. I'm out on this additional new property for hay ground that I spoke of last evening on that hay cutting video. Now, if you'll see, across that fence line and all that other stuff, you see that nice lime green field right there? Well, that's the beginning regrowth of last week's new hay ground that I started and finished. Now, I told you last night that the quality is not here. It's no joke, it's not. This is, and I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful, I'm just being blunt and honest. This is some very poor, this is gonna be very poor hay. Now there is some nice grass in here. Folks, it's grasshopper season up here and the grasshoppers are everywhere. You just see the field come alive. There is some nice grass in here. There's a lot of this stuff and that'll ruin hay right there. That's I like to call that some tainted flour. It's the cows do not like it. There's a lot of you might be able to see there's a lot of pickers in here, picker bushes. It's not good hay, but it is going to make some good February hay. Actually, it's hardly even good February hay. It's going to make February hay plus a little bit of bedding, something for the cows to play on and kick the crap out of, you know what I mean? There's a goal and a purpose of why I'm here, and it's for I'm gonna say the future, but you know, starting for next year. I'm starting it now, but this is poor ground. What does poor ground, especially hay ground, need? It needs to either be turned over and planted into something, or, as far as I'm concerned, and I don't have the gift of gab here, it needs a haircut. It needs to start being fertilized and tended to. It'll regrow back into a good crop, and that's what I'm doing. There's some of you that might be saying right now, well, why don't you turn it over? Put in some barley, some oats in here. Heck, who knows, put some corn in here. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Reason being, number one, that's the immediate east end of this field. You see that big tree line? That sun won't pop out till about almost 11 a.m. on this field. And then of course, that's the immediate west end of this field with that tree line. The sun, there's not gonna be a whole lot of sunlight on this field. Number two, I talked to the landowner and neighbor, and the entire time he's been back here, which I'm gonna go ahead and say, I don't know, I'm gonna say 30 years. If I'm not mistaken, he said he's only worked up this field twice in his entire life here on this farm. It was just god-awful, packed with stones and rocks. It was just awful. So we'll see what the far future brings, but right now I'm doing my job in trying to make this back into some good hay ground. Like I said, a fresh haircut, get some regrowth in there, get some good fertilizer in here in the spring, maybe throw in a little bit of red clover or something, and this will be good hay ground, including that nice little chunk that I took off last week over there. You know, when it comes down to it, you're probably looking at if you can get a first and a second crop off of these two smaller fields, which probably total, I bet you there's 25 plus acres here. In fact, I'm willing to say about 30. Folks, that's a lot of property. That's a lot of property to take hay off of. And it's not far. It's just down the road, basically, and it needs to be tended to. So I'm pretty happy about it. I'm pretty excited about it. I am a little sick to my guts about what I'm cutting here and what I'm gonna have to rake up and bale up, but you know, it's the price that you pay. So no harm, no foul, all is well, and it's all for a purpose. Beautiful piece of property here. I'm gonna assume that was an old high-rise, medium-rise hunting stand. There's a lot of hunting back here. And I tell you what, it's a sportsman's paradise back here. Already this morning there was a flock of turkeys. One of them was fanned out, and then a bunch of babies and a whole bunch of deer running around. So it's very nice back here. So yeah, I got the disc-bind fixed. I pulled maintenance on it last night and then even had to finish it this morning. Changed out probably, let me tell you what, those knives took a beating this year. That disc-bind was busy. I changed out, 5 knives. I turned the rest, and then last night I ended up adjusting the springs on the disc-bind. If you've seen my last video, you'll understand what my problem was. Problem's fixed. I don't know how it got so cattywampus, but you know, maintenance, that's what happens, especially springs. You need to tighten or loosen. And I got it figured out. I was a little backwards on my words on my last video. I'll spare you the details. Long story short, I got it figured out. And I'll admit I had to get the manual out. And I'm not much of a manual or directions guy, but I got it out and all is well. So things are good. We got a lot of hay down, folks. I cut that field down yesterday evening. I'm knocking this down right now. I'm 30 minutes away from being finished. And then Dad is knocking down, as we speak, another, we'll call it 13, 14 acres. Some very, very good stuff. So we've got a lot of hay down. Now we're supposed to have pure sun right now, and we don't. I haven't seen the sun this morning. It's all hidden behind the clouds. But starting tomorrow, we got a lot of hay to make. Dad's going to be going after square bales at the field I cut last night. I fully anticipate, as long as the sun pops out, baling this tomorrow. It's very thin. The good grass is not that thick. There's a lot of weeds in here. So I fully anticipate round baling this tomorrow. Now, I'm probably not going to get away with raking it until at least, I bet you 2 in the afternoon. But long story short, I'll be able to get it picked up, because then, you know, Saturday's going to be a giant day, big day. And like I said, we're purely after squares right now. So the round baler is going to be ready to go, but turning that round baler is not anything that we want to do right now on the good hay. This stuff is a given. This is getting round baled. So there's a couple of bad spots in here, low spots. You'll see one right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm gonna call it a marshy area. It's where a lot of water has settled over the years. There's some cattails in there and just a lot of garbage. And then along the fence line, this fence line's real bad. And then there's another, what I'm gonna call marsh area, right over here on the extreme north end. Now, I haven't touched those, and I'm not going to. I am coming back here though, next week. You know, the goal is to clean this up this weekend here, and we got a lot of other hay to make. But this is part of the process of making this some prime hayland again, is I'm gonna come back here after the good stuff's out, and I'm gonna come back here with the disc-bind, because it's not that wet this year. Now, I'm not gonna tell you we had a dry year, but we haven't had a wet year, so make that make sense. I'm gonna come back out here and I'm gonna knock these down. The fence lines, tree lines, and these 2 dead marsh little areas, I'm gonna knock them down with the disc-bind, let it dry up a little bit, and I'm gonna, you know, shoot out about, I don't know, there's maybe 2 or 3 round bales worth of some real garbage But I'll be hauling that back for this winter for something for the cows to play on. But it's a part of cleaning this property up. Even the bad spots, get them out of there. We're going to start fresh next year. I'm looking very forward to it. And putting a real good shot of fertilizer on this mixed in with something. We'll see what happens. So anyway, folks, just checking in. Hope everything's going okay. And stay tuned for some more videos coming up. I'm going to do another sorghum regrowth video this weekend. It's pretty good. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, got to get going. Talk to you sooner than later.